I was in the the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. I guess we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, America.
Following up on the smartphones that are being given to border crossers with technology so they can be tracked or so they can check in. Is there any plan to give free smartphones to U.S. citizens that want them?
Should we not be tracking migrants who irregularly cross the border?
I'm asking if...
Or do you have an alternative suggestion for how they should be tracked?
I, unfortunately, have not been asked to make U.S. immigration policy. That's not
Today's your moment.
Well, it'd be great if anybody that wanted a free phone and a free monthly plan could get one. So is that going to be an offer for everybody or just people that walk into the country illegally?
Well, Peter, as when we talked about this the other day, what I noted to you is that we have a range of means of tracking individuals who irregularly migrate to the country.
You guys are starting to give smartphones to border crossers, hoping that they'll use the phones to check in or to be tracked. Which part of that is supposed to deter people from crossing illegally into the States?
Well, take steps to ensure that we know where individuals are and we can track and we can check in with them.
These migrants will take the phones and just toss them. And then,
do you have a record of people throwing phones away?
I'm just asking if that's a concern.
Our concern is ensuring that individuals who irregularly migrate to the United States proceed through in hearings to determine whether or not they will be able to stay. I would note that
you do realize, Pete, a lot of black people feel like Democrats have kept no promises since they've been in office.
Really?
Yes. Reverend Island said that a million times. I'm sure he'll be pressing you about that tomorrow.
Look, I get it.
I just coincidentally got the chance to walk out of the chamber after the vote with Senator Warnock, the first African-American senator from the Deep South since Reconstruction. And
is there a carve-out in CDC regulations for COVID for vice president?
Tell me more, Peter. I'm sure this is going somewhere. Let's see.
You know,
what do you got for me on a Friday?
The CDC says for people exposed to COVID, up to date on their COVID-19 vaccinations, do not go to places where you are unable to wear a well-fitting mask. So why is she here at the White House today giving the new Supreme Court justice a big hug with no mask?
You mean when she gave her a hug outside?
Yes.
She was outside?
Does the CDC say that people who are close contact can give people hugs outside?
We know, Peter, that outside you can benefit significantly being outside. That's why we had the event outside today. I will tell you that the vice president has been wearing a mask inside. When there was a private greet, they were all wearing masks before they went out.
She wasn't wearing a mask yesterday at the Senate?
She was playing an important role in confirming or overseeing the confirmation of the first black woman to the Supreme Court. The vast majority, as was on camera, Peter, as was on camera. Let me finish my answer here, because Fox and others, I don't know actually that Fox carried it, but others did, saw that she was socially distanced from people for the vast, vast majority of her time overseeing that confirmation yesterday.
So this is not a case of rules for thee, but not for VP.
In fact, the vice president wore a mask inside today when she was both with the president, with her staff, other people. She was outside at the event. She was socially distanced for 99.9% of the event today, and she had an emotional moment.
How can you guys say that President Biden was not a close contact with Speaker Pelosi when there is video of the speaker kissing him?
Well, Peter, the way that it is defined is by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and their definition of it is 15 minutes of contact within a set period of time and within 6 feet. It did not meet that bar.
On this, does the president have any plans to figure out what these small towns who are bracing for a major influx in migrants next month need by making his first ever trip to the border?
I have nothing to predict for you in terms of additional trips. The president will be traveling the country, but I don't have any more specific.
If I can, during his remarks today, the president said something that was a bit striking. He was condemning some of the conservative Republicans and their criticisms of Judge Jackson when she was testifying recently. He said there was verbal abuse, the anger, the constant interruptions, those vile, baseless, vile assertions and accusations. Whew. Is that a preview of messaging that we're going to hear from the president heading into the midterms? Is that a message that the White House wants to deliver and will be repeating?
I don't believe that the conduct of senators at a hearing is going to be central to the president's remarks when he's out traveling the country. But I think what he was speaking to on a historic day is that, well, Judge Jackson was the picture, now Justice Jackson, was the picture of dignity in her hearings. Some others in the room decided to be the opposite. And he is and expects a certain level of conduct, professionalism, and decorum. And that is not what we saw
for today, as opposed to like a central theme that we'll see in terms of contrast.
I would say that I think the American people can expect that he'll continue to talk when he's out in the country, for whatever reason, about how to bring down their costs, how to
put out a report saying that global food prices in March reached a record high.
Yeah.
What is the U.S. doing, if anything, to mitigate possible additional increases here?
Here in the United States?
Correct.
Well, it is something that we are certainly watching very closely while we continue to believe that the impact will largely be in the Middle East and in Africa, I believe, in a lot of other parts of the world, less in the United States.
Reported yesterday, prior to her COVID diagnosis, that Speaker Pelosi was planning a trip to Taiwan. Beijing reacted very negatively to that. Is the U.S., is the Biden administration comfortable if she were to do that, such a high-ranking U.S. official?
I think we understood her trip. I don't have any further comment.